What's up, everybody? Good morning, bright and early. How's everybody doing? And we're live. What's up, everybody? What's going on? It's always a good morning, good way to start off the day. Doing a little streaming, a little ZBrush sculpting, a little character work. Yeah. So if you guys have not dropped in on one of my streams before here, this is the guy that we are working on. Yo, what's up, Chris? How you doing, man? Deepest, how you guys doing? What's up? What's up? Yeah, so this is a concept from Adrian Wilkins. Him in collaboration with Tim Lochner and Andrejs. I always murder his name. Skuja. These guys worked on some really awesome concept pieces for Horizon Zero Dawn. So I decided to work on this dude. Really like the balance between a lot of the different materials for soft surface, organic, some hard surface in there. He's got some pretty cool characters. Got some really nice differences between like hard leather, you know, flowy cotton, some hard surface stuff. But yeah, they did a pretty bang up job. So this one really caught my eye. So I figured, you know what? What better way to practice doing work for a big AAA company like Gorilla than taking their really amazing art approved concepts and actually doing some work and see what I can, or how close I can get to what was actually created for the game. So it's really good practice. So that's what I'm doing. So this is guy from Adrian Wilkins. Definitely go check some of his stuff out. I'll give you guys actually a link to the art station. And you guys can go check out his work and some of the other guys' work as well. They do a killer, kick-ass job. Alright. That's what I'm working with. So, this is how far we've gotten so far. Just really kind of just blocking in. Not doing any tertiary detail. Really just focusing on overall shape and form. Start blocking in some of the secondary forms just to get the characteristics for the material, you know, differentiation between like this hard leather, nice soft cotton, and really just kind of explain through sculpt what each one of these pieces actually feel like. So this is where I am so far. He's getting there. He's getting there. I think we're going to continue blocking out the rest of his head. So just hit that piece up real quick. I'm going to get into doing a little bit of the detail, a little bit more secondary details in his chest. Kind of clean up the bottom area a little bit. What's up, Grubber? What's up, Spruce Root? How you guys doing? We'll get into integration. Sculpting through these hard surface pieces. I think I'm going to do some general proportions. I'll show you guys how I use Subtool Master, not Subtool Master, Transpose Master, to just work on general overall proportions without having to like really do things per subtool. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm not too focused on his facial features yet. I'm really just kind of I'm gonna leave the look like till closer to the end. So that's why he doesn't look that way. Anyways, how I got to this part. If you guys are just tuning in to this project for the first time, I basically just used a body scan from a 3D scan store to get my base mesh. I always suggest, you know, being able to create and do anatomy on your own, but don't have to redo it every single project. So in this particular case, I wanted to show that I can just start from a body scan. And I think I deleted them out of this subtool. Yes, I did. Well, I'll give you a look. Alright, so basically I just grabbed the scan and just did a quick sculpt of the overall body type that I wanted. And then just did extract basically for all of the pieces. Did some pretty low poly stuff, and then just subdivided and did some sculpting. So that's how I got most of the armor pieces, and then just kind of kept on going. Yo, what's up, Lance? How you doing, buddy? All right. So let's continue on the head real quick. I just want to block out the rest of this. Right, quick like. How's everybody else doing? You know, I keep forgetting to save my insert mesh brush. So what I'm going to do is just create a new one real quick for that main piece. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to steal one of these dudes. So I'm just going to use a move tool. Let's just grab this guy, and then we're just going to duplicate him off. Just like that. We'll hide him. We'll do split hidden. Grab him. He's been sculpted down. I don't want one that's been sculpted down. That's weird. I'm just going to grab another one because this one got a little bit messed up. So let's just grab this dude. And then we'll just do the same thing. Grab him off. Hide him. Split hidden. If you guys are new to ZBrush, you'll quickly realize that I have a pretty crazy interface. Don't be too intimidated by it. It's just what I tend to do is I tend to kind of throw everything I use onto the main palette out here. It's pretty self-explanatory. Well, not self-explanatory, but it's nothing too crazy. Basically, I take out all of my whatever I use through the tool palette and just bring it out here. So we've got like subtool stuff, we've got geometry stuff, we've got polygroup stuff, we've got morph target, we've got frame, masking stuff, and some UV things, and some perspective stuff. Over here we got material and more tool stuff, matte cap, light, symmetry stuff, depth, gravity, topological, and then just some brushes that I use down here. Yeah. Yo. Alright, let's just take this dude, grab him up there. The new move widget, guys, so good. So good. Okay, this is pretty much going straight down. Yeah, what's up, Jacob? How you doing, buddy? It's pretty much like right in the middle there. Maybe we'll just scoot up just a little bit more. And I'm going to go ahead and just bring it back in a little bit, and then I'll sculpt around it. That should be good. I don't want to like too perfectly straight up and down, so I just want to make sure that I have a little bit of rotation to it just to give it a little bit more realness on the reel. Okay, that's good. And then let's go ahead and just grab, I'm gonna grab one of these dudes. Oops. I want to keep some of these pieces the same. Oh man, looks like I moved that stuff too. Crap. Alright, let's just, while we're here, so what happened was I used a little bit, I used the Transpose master to do a little bit of moving around and general proportion editing, and that's why these guys got a little bit stretched, but no issue. No issue. Easy peasy. Yo, what's up, Thomas? How you doing, buddy? So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate this whole thing. So let's just duplicate that. I don't want to touch the originals, so I'm just going to, let's do auto groups. I'll just take this one. Trying to find one that's less jacked. Maybe this one. So just hide everything else. Delete hidden. And then let's just bring this guy up. There's about 1,000 ways to do this. But I want to keep some consistency. Y is X. Oh, I don't want that. Sticky mode. There we go. That's what I want. Just grab this dude up here. So it looks like there's one here and one here. Easy enough. So one about there. Whew. That one got real messed up, didn't it? See if we can just quickly get this back into shape. There we go. Cool. So we'll do that, and then we'll just take and duplicate this guy off. Move him over here. Cool. Maybe what we'll do is we'll just rotate him this way a little bit. Okay, and then we'll mirror and weld. Okay. Oh, it's so good. Just, you know, there's little things in 4R8 that just kind of make your life just generally easier. One is the control. What is it? Control Shift. No. Control Alt drag. Right. Basically, it says, okay, mask everything except for these things that I just highlighted. Oh, just quality of life stuff. So good, guys. So good. So let's do... Go to unmask mesh center. That's what I want. See if we can just bring these straight over. That'll work. Okay, so we'll grab this dude. He's just an extraction from his head, actually. And then panel looped. Super easy. That didn't work. Okay. So what we're gonna do, let's just divide this guy a couple of times. Take it off smooth, divide. Put that smooth back on, divide it one more time. There we go. That's good enough. We'll just throw a couple subdivisions in there. And then we'll just do local symmetry. There we go, that's what I want. Just do a little bit of integration, secondary forms here. Okay, this will probably be pulling from this way. Just super subtle for right now, just so that it's not... Yeah, it's fine for now. Alright, let's grab this dude. We're going to do a little bit of this like little thingamajig on the top there. Looks like it's just... So let's do this. I'm going to grab my Z modeler brush. And then I'm just going to tag these guys right here. You know, before I do that, I'm going to work on the shape just a little bit. Rexau, do you think someone not so creative could do well with modeling, texturing, or rigging? Yeah, man. There's actually there's plenty of room for more technical stuff, especially when you start getting into like rigging and that side of the modeling family. It becomes very technical unless I'd say truly bare artistic. So yeah, man. There's lots of room for that. Lots of room. What? There we go. Alright, so let's go back here. Alright, so I'm just going to grab this row here. Just going to tag these guys. Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. There's all kinds of stuff. Great, and then we'll just grab QMesh. We'll do polygroup all. Right. So I'm just going to give myself just a little bit of extra geo here. Something like that. That'll work. Alright, and then maybe we'll just divide it a couple of times. So turn smooth off first, and then turn it back on, and that'll give me just a little bit of softness. Divide that a couple of times. And then let's just kind of get in, kind of beat this up a little bit now. Well, I mean, I think the word creative has a lot of interpretations. You know, there's actually a lot of people who get kind of intimidated by the whole, oh, I have to be artistic to do this job, which is just, you know, take it however you want it, but like, I don't know. I think it kind of gets a little bit chalked up to more than it really is. I think when a lot of people think of, oh, I have to be artistic, it comes with a certain level of kind of intimidation if you're not really used to doing that type of work. But really, like, I don't, honestly, when I'm working, like, I don't see all of this as like really creative, like artistic stuff. For me, it's more of just kind of problem solving, trying to figure out how I'm going to do this particular thing. You know, how am I going to construct this piece? You know, like when I come in here, like, okay, how am I going to make this piece? Okay, I know how to make that piece, so I can just duplicate and make it that piece, and then I know how to do, you know, I know how to create the, you know, the belt, and then I can just use a deformer to do that, you know. So it's more of like, once you kind of get into it and past the whole like, oh, it's being creative kind of thing or artistic, it's more of like just creative problem solving, you know. You're like, oh, I can use those tools that I know about to do that particular thing, you know. So you'd be surprised once you could do what you can do once you get past the it's artistic type of thing, you know. Yo, Juggalo, what's up, man? I feel like these things are, well, it takes too much time and effort. There's a danger to lose creative bonus. Just need to exercise both. I mean, really, honestly, it's a bottomless pit for, you know, if you feel like you need to learn everything. You'll never really learn everything, you know. So just figure out the stuff that you like. For me, it's characters. I freaking love bringing characters to life, you know. So that's what I love doing. So, you know, I focus on the technology and the stuff that I need to learn for that. Like when I think about environment art, I'm like, whoa, repeating textures, whoa, you know, light maps and all kinds of crazy stuff for world space, whatever, hobble lobba doobies. Ugh, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, for characters, like, I love the fact that like your whole project is contained within this particular, in this person, right? So it's very, like, for me, it's more centralized, and I like that, right? Right? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, it's all interpretation. It's about, you know, how you see things in the world, you know? It's some see those types of things as creative problems, others see them as, you know, technical how-tos and creative problem solving and all kinds of fun stuff. I'm just going to add a little bit of extra form to this here. So again, I try not to go too high in poly count right away. I think this is actually creeping on too high already, because it helps me just focus on secondary details and just kind of getting the overall feeling of of each piece on the character, you know. So some of the things that I've learned lately, just from kind of like working in the industry and being around, you know, some lead character artists and some more experienced character artists, really has been focusing on edges and really kind of how you break up and define edges, right? So like, it's not going to have this really nice exact edge, right? Even if it's a piece of cloth, you know, like, you know, it's never really going to be an exact curve, that kind of thing, unless you're, you know, for this particular piece, every piece is a little bit different, but like, you know, just adding slight variations here and there just adds to the realism, and you can get a lot just out of very simple secondary shapes. Okay, so this particular piece looks like it's actually folded over. Right, so it looks like it's actually folded over and then nailed through with these grommets, right, around this piece. So we'll see if we can work that out real quick. Usually what I do is once I get to the stage where I'm really going to kind of step away from what the original shape was, I'll just duplicate it real quick and work on that in case I need to go back. Alright, Seagull. Have a good one, buddy. So what we're going to do is just we're going to do it by hand. A lot of the pieces and technical parts on this guy I'm going to end up doing by hand because it really tends to add to the more organic side of things. If this was like a highly machined hard surface, I would definitely go by it a little bit differently. But because I want a little bit more of that hand-touched feel, I don't mind going in and doing things by hand a lot on this particular project. So we're going to do that, and then maybe we'll just if you guys, I go pretty quick through some hotkeys. I usually go through clay buildup, move topological, H polish, and dam standard. I have those set to some key bindings. So if you're ever wondering what the hell I'm doing, you can always just check out up here to see what I'm moving to. So I'm just gonna make this divot by hand here. Alright, and we can just kind of bulk up this side a little bit. Then we could just make it look like it's kind of rounding that corner, and then obviously this edge wouldn't be flat anymore, so I can just kind of you know what, inflate would be better for this. Just gonna round these corners off a touch. Which brush do you discover that made you? Honestly, I pretty much just use two main brushes. One's clay buildup, and the other one is move topological. I pretty much do almost 90% of my sculpts with like those two. It's pretty crazy when you start thinking about it. I mean, it's not the brush that does it. It's, you know, what it helps you do. I do a lot more kind of organic models, so yeah, move topological is just right. You know, if you go BM, it's actually in the brush palette. Move topological. It's basically the move brush, just with the topological button pressed. Comes very, very handy. Yep. Alright, let's break up this bottom piece a little bit and just kind of beat up the edges here. A scotch. Yeah, it's super helpful. Okay, I'll take this in a little bit. And you know, really, you can do a lot with secondary forms. You know, like you can do, if you start paying attention to what the material is that you're sculpting on and what its characteristics are based on the stresses that's being placed on it, on your character, you can do a lot of explaining with just some simple forms. So let's do that. Right, so the fact that I'm doing kind of all this by hand, I'm actively making that decision so that, right, so now it actually looks more like an organic piece, right? So the way that you go about creating the thing that you're working on, being aware of its characteristics and stuff really makes a big difference in how the piece actually turns out. And then we'll just do like a little bit of inflate here as that's rolling over. Let's take this corner down a little bit. And we'll hit that inflate. What's up, Hankertooth? How you doing? I also started using the alt smooth. I don't know if you guys know about the alt smooth. It's basically see if I can demonstrate this real quick. So there's basically two types of smooth. There you go. So just regular smooth, what it's going to do is, so I'm holding down shift, and regular smooth is going to try to take all of these forms and basically just smash them down, right? So you really kind of lose the overall form, right? Where if you do the alternative smooth, which is basically you start smoothing and then you let off of shift, what it will try to do is it'll try to keep that form and just smooth out all the normals wherever your brush stroke is. So this becomes really, really, really handy if you just want to get some surface detail smoothed out, but you don't want to lose this overall form. So I do that a lot, actually, like a lot. So like up here, I don't want to like smash down this form with regular smooth, right? What I want to do is I want to just get in here and just do this alternate smooth. So I got my hand off of it, so it tries to keep the overall shape, and just smooths out the normals like that. I didn't actually know about that for a long time. When I figured that out, or when I heard, it was probably either Joseph or Paul saying something, I was like, wait, what? I actually use that all the time. Yes. Yep. Alright, so then I'm going to continue to just kind of try to round out some of these shapes up here to make it feel like it's rolling over this piece. It's getting closer. It's a little bit too lumpy. I don't even know what the proper term for that is. If it's alt smooth or normal smooth or relax or what. I don't know. Like, we should just call it awesome smooth. Yeah, I feel like that'll work for now. Yeah, Hangry. I'm gonna do the high poly sculpt stuff here on Pixelogic's channel. If you guys want to follow me on my personal Twitch channel, that's where I'll be doing the rest of this guy. I'll be doing them live. So as for what steps are next, let's just delete this guy. Yeah, that's fine. So once I get the final sculpt done here, I'm going to do all of the retopo prep here. I'm going to do all of the baking prep here. But I'm going to take it into Modo. Probably going to use 10.2 or 11. So we're going to do all the retopo and UVing in Modo. And then we'll do the baking in Marmoset Toolbag 3, and then we'll do all of the texturing in Substance Painter 2. That's the plan. But I'm going to do all the other stuff besides the ZBrush stuff on my channel, on my personal channel. So let's try to keep things more pixelogic-y here. Alright, so that form's starting to feel okay. Starting to feel like a piece of leather, which is good. Okay. And maybe we'll take this guy and just move him out just a touch. Cool. We're going to do something similar to this guy here real quick. Alright, we'll just start kind of beating up some of these edges in here. Do I use Topo Gun? No, I don't. I have Modo, so I don't really I don't really have a need to use top again. So, but you know, retopo is retopo. You know, you can do it in pretty much a ton of different programs. So, it's whatever you have access to, whatever works for you, whatever you're comfortable with. You know. What's better about Modo? Nothing really. I mean, I think retopo is just kind of one of the steps that you need to do. There's, you know, some programs have better tools than others, but for the most part, it's pretty straightforward as to kind of what the process is and stuff. So I have Modo. I don't have Maya or Max. And it's just what I'm used to. So that's really a lot of the decision-making process goes into it. It's just what do you have access to and what you're comfortable with, what you can do the best for the amount of time that you have, kind of thing. You know, nothing too special. I'm really comfortable in Modo. Been using it for a couple years now. What's up, Analia? Been looking for a bit, wondering if there's any music playing. No, no music. No music. We're going Acapulco. Dangerous. I like to live dangerously. Makes for these really fun, awkward moments when people realize that there's no music playing and I'm not really talking. Like this. You just can't get that with music playing, you know? It's just one of those things. Okay, so we probably have a little bit of like this, couple major forms coming out. I don't know, man. Like I think there's enough distractions. I like trying to answer questions while I'm doing this. I just feel like, for me, you know, I think that for me, the music that you can play that like you have free rights to and everything like that, I don't know, just doesn't work for me very well. It's kind of like that awkward music. You're like, do you think anybody actually really listens to this, or is it really just because there's no digital rights to it? You know, it's just me though. All right. We'll turn on backface mask for my clay buildup. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Well, there's another moment. It's good times. Trying not to make it look like a nurse's hat. But now that I said that, that's what you're going to think. Because that's what I've been thinking. Thanks. Funny, I've been teaching my daughter how to do like a maniacal laugh. It's funny. She's like barely over 2. She's just starting to do a lot more like actual vocalizing, mimicking vocalization. So the other day we're in the car and I laughed at something and then she kind of did like this, like the mimic laugh, and it was like more of kind of like the Joker maniacal style laugh, and she was like ha 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 ha, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun. It was awesome. We did that for a while until my wife was like, "Oh, okay, guys, that's enough." So sometimes I jump back and forth between pieces. You know, a lot of times when you're trying to get the whole gist of, you know, folds and stuff, and you're really kind of not feeling it. You know, there's plenty of times when you're working on, you know, a piece that's like right here, and you're like, oh, and then you kind of look at this and you're like, oh, I could do that one thing right there. Yeah. A lot of times you just kind of jump around, and it's totally fine. It's normal. The professional people do it, so it's okay. You know, it's okay. No, a lot of people use Top Gun. Actually, a lot of people in the industry use it as well. It's just you know, it gets good results. It's quick. And there's some other good things about it, like a little bit more technical stuff, and like a lot of environment artists use it for, you know, world space normal calculations and all that fun weird stuff that I don't really understand. Because, you know, when you're doing characters, you don't, I don't know, man. I feel like I don't really have to worry about world space normals a lot. Again, so just some, maybe take that back up. There we go. Again, just some subtle shapes so that when you're kind of turning this around, even though you're not looking directly at this, like your peripheral vision is telling you, oh, that looks more realistic and less of a piece of metal and more of like clothy, right? It's all about the perspective read. Alright, I'm going to divide this guy up real quick and just start beating up this guy as well. So just kind of taking and like add some variations makes all the difference. You've used it for a long time, Darkin. What do you like? What do you like about it, other than that's what you have access to, and that's why you use it, and that's why you've used it for a long time, is because that's what you know. Maybe we'll use the inflate in here instead of clay buildup. Clay buildup gets a little bit weird around edges. What's up, Baron? Do I ever make any models specifically to sell in various different marketplaces? For me, no. I haven't really got into that side of model making. I really mostly been focused on just portfolio work because I want to work in the studio. The things that I have done in the past for selling is just some little tutorials. I have a hand sculpting tutorial that I have on ZBrush and Gumroad. If you guys are interested in sculpting hands, first and secondary forms. Yeah, you need a retapo, and that's what you could afford at the time. Yeah, I mean, that's how usually when you're doing smaller, like kind of in between tasks like that. It really, a lot of it focus is really like based on what you have access to and what you're comfortable with, right? Yo, Japalmo, what's up, buddy? Haven't seen you in days, bruh. Days, bro. Thanks, Souther. Man, I would love to work for Naughty Dog. Those guys are crazy awesome. Crazy awesome. Yo, Polysculpture. How are you awake? Exactly. I gotta go work a 12-hour shift after I'm done streaming, so it's gonna be a long day, man. It's gonna be a long day. Just got used to it. Never saw a need to switch to anything else. Right, Darget, because it's mostly. I mean, it's not about like, especially for retopo. It's kind of like one of the in between tasks. You know, it's not really like one of the make or break pieces in the software. You know, it's basically a couple of tools that you end up using, and that's about it. Right now, I'm working for Sony in San Diego. Comfort factor, exactly. I'm working for it's called Visual Studio VASG group. Yeah, something like that. Basically, we focus on scan technology. So some of our credits are our studio did the hands and head. I think the head too for the Last of Us 2 trailer. So yeah, we do a little bit more kind of like scan details and more high res stuff. So yeah, that's what do we do. So I'm working as character artist for them right now. Sure, Ice Other, go for it. Thanks for asking. Alright, so now I'm just gonna kind of like work on this integration a little bit. And again, this is all like secondary forms, so you can really get a lot of mileage before you start getting into tertiary detail. Now's probably not the best time to get feedback. If you want to jump into my my personal stream, definitely would give you more feedback. Just from the looks of it, it looks pretty dope, dude. Good stuff. It's a little bit more that like I'm definitely happy to give you guys feedback and stuff on work. I just don't think the Pixelogic stream is the best place to do it. Definitely happy to if you guys want to send me something on Facebook, or if you want to message me on Twitch, you're more than welcome to do that. It's a little bit difficult to do during the Pixelogic stream. You feel me? You feel me, fam? Alright, so this piece is Facebook. It's good. I really just use my Facebook for art stuff nowadays. So this is kind of, I want to make it look like so when you have something sitting on something, right? You want to make it look like it's actually interacting with it. Alright, so maybe we'll flatten this out just a little bit. Not really going to see that in there, but what you may see is some of this in here. Right, Japomo. No, I try, man. Like, you know, during my come up years, I was fortunate enough to be able to contact some really nice, amazing artists through different platforms, and I feel like it really did a lot of good for me as an artist. Feel like it did a lot of good for the art community, so I always try to pay those types of things back whenever I can, you know. Yeah, Blance, you could definitely use it for use the bend arc. But what I did for this particular one is I already had this arc. So basically, all I did was just masked this and just extracted and then re dynameshed, not re dynameshed, re z remeshed. Um, and that got me my curve real quick. So yeah, I mean you could do it either way. Right, Baron. Well, I need some water. Oh, thanks, Seller. Appreciate it, man. All right, for those of you who were not around in the beginning, now's a good time. Darken. So this is a concept by Adrian Wilkins and company. Um, they did a really awesome job on some Horizon Zero Dawn concepts in collaboration with Tim Lochner and Andrejs Skuja. Actually, I'll go ahead and link it if you guys want to take a look at some of his work. Does some dope work. But anyways, I figured what better way to practice for a AAA company than to use some really awesome concepts that were actually used in the game, right? So if I want to emulate what I would do as a character artist for Video Game Pipeline, I would literally take one of these. So my job would be to take this guy and create the character, right? From this exact piece. So if I could do that and it turns out really awesome, it goes to show that I'm ready. I feel like I'm ready, and I can show that I could take one of these awesome concepts and actually do a good job on it, right? And it shows to potential companies that I would like to work for that I can do it, right? So no, definitely not doing all three. Definitely not doing all three. But yeah, it's a great way to practice. Like if you want to work for 343, go and look Halo 5 concept art books. Just do some of those, man. If you want to work for Bungie, go pick up some Destiny art books, right? Like all of that amazing concept artwork that you would actually work from is right there. It's right there. Do it. Anyways. So yeah, so Adrian Wilkins, really awesome Horizon Zero Dawn concepts. Definitely love this guy. So that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm doing, man. Seriously, Darken. Jeez. But yeah, so that's where we're at right now. Just in the kind of the first and secondary form blockout phase. And yeah, that's where we're at. Yeah, it's all good, Chapoma. Did you use Marvel's design for the pants? Yes. I just did something really quick for the pants. I'll actually show you just a quick snapshot I took. Makes it a little bit easier. So this is just a quick snapshot. So basically I sculpted the body type out that I wanted. What's up, Shane? How you doing, man? I sculpted out the body type and then just made a really quick and dirty set of pants that are just huge on them, and then just used some elastic pieces to get some of these nice folds. I knew I was going to re-sculpt all this down here, so I wasn't really worried about it. I really just wanted something nice here, right? And then that's where we're at with that. Yup. How you doing, Shane? I'll be 90 when Naughty Dog finally hires me. Right? How you doing, Shane? What's up, buddy? If you guys don't know Shane Olsen, he does really, really awesome stylized character work. So definitely check him out. Check you out, bro. Alright. Alright, so let's get this little piece all up in here. Dude, it's early, bro. It's early. You're telling me it's... Wait, you're telling me it's early. Why are you telling me it's early? I got up at like 5 o'clock for y'all. AM. Ashley, what's up? How you doing, Ashley? Guys, we got a couple of other really awesome ZBrush streamers. Pixologic streamers. Definitely check out Shane Olsen. He's if for some chance you don't know Shane, does really awesome work, and has been doing some ZBrush streams here on Pixologic Live. So check him out. And then A Cube, what up? Ashley, she does some really awesome creature work. Also another Pixologic streamer. Go check her out. I know, gang's all here, man. Yeah, Ash, are you going to the summit? All the cool people are going. Alright. So those pieces are doing okay. I feel like I really want to work on some proportions for his arm. I feel like his arms are a little bit too thin right now. We got like a lot of kind of beefiness down here. His legs, I feel like are starting to get a little bit thin, and his arms are a little bit thin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you guys through how I go and work on overall proportions really, really quickly. After I save it. Save this bad boy. Always save it first. All the loves. Yeah, we're all... and believe it or not, I'm on my streams here, I try to channel Paul, the Gabs, I guess. I don't have access to coffee where I'm staying at the moment. So up at 5 a.m. streaming for a couple of hours off no coffee. So yeah, I have to channel my inner Paul. All right, so what I want to do is work on just some overall proportions. So what I use is Transpose Master. Basically what that's going to do is it's going to take all of my pieces and take them down to... Yo, Polly! What's up, Rob? Holy crap, the team, bro. The team. So yeah, basically what it's going to do is going to take all of my subtools, smash them on down. Red Bull now. I'm off just water and wheat thins at this point. So it's going to smash them all down to basically one subtool, and take everything down to its lowest subdivision level and create a new tool opposite or separate from this particular one. That way you can move things around transpose things, and then when you come back, it will split everything back out into its new shape and form. So we're going to do that right now, and we're going to hope it doesn't crash. So basically what it's doing is going through and it's taking a look at all the subtools, the ones that are visible. Cool. T-pose complete. Now you see all I have is just one subtool, right? And you'll see that everything's down to its lowest subdivision level. So what that means is now I can go through here and use I can use like my move tool and be like, you know what? Let's turn on symmetry. I want to move both of these pieces. I'm going to end up recreating this piece, so I don't really need to I don't need to save that particular one, because I could just take this one and redupe it and put it up there. Or what I can do is I can just mask it. There you go. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. Alright, now I can just move this. So I feel like his arms were a little bit too thin. So I could just make some like micro changes here, which is really nice. Right? It's really awesome. You're like, oh, well, I would need to beef out his shoulders. So instead of like going through and doing all these things one by one, this is how I go about just doing it all the same. It becomes really, really handy. How do you do the rope brushes around the knees? Yes, it is actually with a rope brush. It's just a curve with a rope sculpt attached to them. Like this, maybe just a little bit too thick in here. Feel like I can bring this out just a touch. And this is also another way that I do just some really quick face proportions. Have I found the time to explore new ZBrush features? Not the Boolean system, or some of the other ones. I haven't had time to do that. I did the bend arc deformer on the belt here. But other than that, I haven't really had a lot of time to play around with like the Boolean system and stuff. So I really want to focus on this. And the cool thing is that you can use the move topological and just focus on one particular piece, because these are they're on the same subtool. But they are separate actual geo pieces. So you can actually use the move topological and actually change just one piece, or you can go back to the regular move tool and then just change them both at the same time. It comes really handy when you're doing it that way. I'm trying to stay away from these areas because I don't really want to change the curvature or anything of these pieces. I want to keep those nice and straight. Is there a steep learning curve to Marmoset? No, not really, Blands. Actually, not really at all. It's fairly straightforward. What I would do is just go through some of their training stuff that they have on their website, on Marmoset's website. And then just kind of play around with it, you know. Like, I learned it mostly by doing projects and then just trying to figure out what things do, you know. Love every second of it. Yeah, man. It's you know, when you find something that you really love, you know, it's the time goes by fast. You know? I want to pull these over just a little bit. I'm going to take and move this in a little. So again, like, I really do this whenever I'm just kind of want to look at things on a holistic view. I'll come and do this process and work on some general proportions. Still feel like his arm is just a little bit too thin. Really want to focus on kind of his overall girth, I guess you can say. Oh, thanks, Shane. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, he's getting there. He's getting there. Actually, maybe what I want to do is actually grab. I feel like the hands could be just a little bit bigger. Alright, so let's say that's good. Just some subtle tweaks. So you know what, maybe what I want to do is let's clear the mask, let's go down to move. I think what I want to do is just kind of bring this stuff out just a little bit. That feels a little better. We'll bring the back out just a touch. A little bit more curvature on the back there. There we go. Alright, let's say that's what I feel is good. And then so I just come back to T-pose to subtool. Oh, now the beauty begins. Watch this. I love just watching this. It's like, okay, ZBrush, you figure out all the work. You figure it out. Try to get a junior level so the studio will take me in. Yep. Need to have a mentor to grow faster. Yeah, man. I suggest finding artists that you like. Find the style that you want to do. Whether it's realistic style, whether it's highly stylized, whether it's kind of a mix of both. Find some artists that do high quality work of the type of work that you want to do, and just follow them. Just watch how they do. Watch how they do their projects. You know, study their the pieces that they've made. You know, and try to figure out why they made the decisions that they made when creating those particular pieces. And yeah, and look for mentorships, man. There's actually a lot of people out there doing mentorships. There's a lot of people out there doing tutorials and that kind of stuff. It's basically a never-ending pool of stuff that you can learn. So if you the more you narrow your focus to the stuff that you want to do and focus on just that, the quicker it'll go. Just about Marvelous on Steam summer sale. Looking forward to playing it. I actually got Marvelous on, I think it was Black Friday sale last year. Dude, it was only like $300, something like that. But for like the full perpetual 6.5 release. I was like, what? Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So now everything's but broken back out to all my subtools. All right. Nice. Nice. So that's whenever I need to make general proportional changes, I'll just use the Transpose Master real quick. Right, quick like. Oh, Glauco's doing a mentorship? I know Dan is, but man, I love to learn from that guy. He does some really awesome work. Okay. So I feel this is the headpiece is in a good place. It's got the forms that explain what it is, I feel. I'm going to work on the little tie down later when I get to these tie downs because they're pretty much the same thing. Yeah, Glauco's freaking awesome. I'm not familiar with Michael on Mold 3D. Oh, gotcha. So these got a little bit warped, so I'm just going to go in and... I feel like this is just, for me, this is just kind of a placeholder for right now, so I'm not too worried about it. Let's do mirror and weld. Multiple subdivision levels. Of course it does. So how do you get around... because I want to mirror and weld this, but I can't because it has subdivision levels. There's creative ways around everything. So what I can do is instead, because this is actually a separate piece, I'm just going to delete this dude. So instead of mirror and weld, what I'll do is I'll just take this, we'll go ahead and just duplicate it and then just mirror it. I can't mirror? Seriously? Okay. So then... then we'll just do this. No, that's not going to work. Alright, I'll do that later. I'll do it later. It's fine. Marvel's Designer's 192? What? Holy cow. Dude, I bought it for $325 and I thought that was cheap. Because it was like the summer before that, it was like, I think it was like $700 or something. Alright, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on a little bit of integration for these pieces. And tighten up some of the details on this edge. So I want to start banging out, getting some of the secondary detail in. Off stream, I went in and did these pieces last week, so I want to just kind of come in and do a little bit of integration. Alright. So maybe this will push in a little bit, maybe this will bow out. Yeah, I'm not sure if Raph is doing anything. He's pretty busy over there at Santa Monica. But yeah. There's definitely some greats out there. I know Dan's doing something real soon, so I check into him. But again, like, you know, that's if you want to do realistic heads, right? Like, that's what he specializes in. I would love to take his mentorship, honestly. I just don't have the time. Alright, again, we're just doing that that alternate smooth on these guys. just so that I can get rid of some of those crunchy areas. Alright, maybe we'll have some kind of like pushing and pulling come through here. Again, I'm thinking about the fact that this is heavy leather, so it's not going to have like all these like super crazy little details. It's more just kind of like big forms. Oh, it's just a wish. Okay, gotcha. Is it any different than the regular version versus the Steam version? I don't think so. I think if you go to the Steam page for Marvelous Designer, it should say if there's a difference. If not, a quick Google search can tell you. Append his new subtool. Yeah, okay, cool. Thanks, Amid. Just goes to show you, you know, like people that have been working in ZBrush for years and years and years still don't like just ZBrush is so crazy awesome deep that yeah, it's good. It's just good. Right? So just minor changes really help sell how those pieces are sitting on there, right? So just doing super subtle stuff, but your eye picks up a whole lot more than what your eye, what you notice. Your eye picks up more than you actually notice. That's what I meant to say. Like subtle details really do sell realism. So paying attention to these small little things really helps. Again, just using that alternate smooth. So it's not smoothing down the shapes. It's just kind of evening out the normals. This is weird. I don't think I need this in here. Maybe we'll use a little bit of trim dynamic and just pull this guy back in. That doesn't really say anything about what's going on. Oops. There we go. Alright, so now you can start to feel that those things are kind of pressed against it. Alright, and we're probably going to have some more kind of bigger wrinkles in here. And we'll just go in and feel out what those may do. So maybe instead of it ducking up, maybe this one will duck down like this. And actually, if you guys are into stylized characters, Shane Olson actually has a really awesome workshop that he just launched. Got you, Shane. So Shane, actually, do you want to? You can drop your link, dude. So I think it's 3D Character Workshop.com. So he's got some awesome stuff going on as well. If you guys are into stylized work, stylized characters. maybe this will actually come down here. Not open for enrollment right now, but it will be open to... Yeah, they can go still check it out, though. Get all excited for next open enrollment. You know how it goes. There it is, 3dcharacterworkshop.com. So go check out his stuff. He's got a really, really cool platform. And keep an eye out for the next round that he's doing open enrollment. Does some dope work, man. That guy. Alright, so just kind of bowing up some of these in here. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, get on the mailing list for now, at least. Okay. Kind of look at some of the points where it would be pressing in more. So probably around here. Around here. Oop. So like here, here, which means it'll bow out through here. So probably bulk up through here. Alright, we'll definitely get some action coming through here. Like that. This is the awkward no music moment. Alright, maybe we'll actually pinch this up a little bit more in here. Look at that. Trindex. How long does it take for you to finish a character? It takes a long time, man. It definitely, like the amount of pieces that are involved in all of these, as well as like. Oh, I got 2 pieces there. Why do I have 2 pieces there? The amount of pieces in the more high-res, detailed, realistic characters is a lot. So I would say, on average, in studio, if you're working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for 4 weeks. Probably about a month to do the full character. That's around how long it takes. It's very, very different per character. It really depends on level of detail, realism. Not necessarily realism. I'm sure Shane can attest to this as well too. That stylized characters take a good amount of time and effort as well. But usually around about a month's work for the full character is what I try to aim for. Of course, this is all just personal work, so it's based on when I have time to work on it, which is definitely not 40 hours a week. So like this guy, I'll be working on this guy for a while. 2 to 6 weeks for Infinity characters. Okay. A couple weeks to a little over a month. So again, it really depends on the complexity of the character. How many reviews it needs to go through. Is this, you know, is it a main character? It's going to get scrutinized a whole lot more with a lot more feedback. Is it just kind of a secondary or background character? Things might be a little bit easier and less scrutinized, maybe less detailed, that kind of stuff. So it really depends. So I feel like this right here is this particular spot is a really cool, and this one too, a really cool opportunity to have some really awesome detail that help explain the interaction between these pieces and the actual leather, where you get like highly interactive spots, right? So I want to take the opportunity to kind of capitalize on that area, right? So maybe what I want to do is see a lot of this kind of like pinching happening, like where this is kind of like bowing out through here, right? But then actually pushed in here, right? So maybe that would have a little bit of this. This would come in a little bit more. But, you know, then maybe what we can do is we can just do like this nice like pinch right here, where like, alright, and you got to think about what the material would actually do, right? Like a heavy thick leather that's being pressed in by the corner of something hard surface, right? You're probably going to get like this nice little divot in here that isn't really going to go a lot of places, but it's going to be much different than some of the other things, the other shapes that are happening around it, right? Right, and it's those areas that really like help sell. I feel like it's still not. I think this needs to even out. Maybe this needs to come down. Okay, let's explain these other parts real quick. I feel like this isn't really doing anything in here. Alright, so maybe we've got this one kind of coming up, and like maybe it diffuses through here, right, and then kind of like curves around. Maybe got a little bit more kind of bulk coming up through here. Right. We'll see how that feels. Right, so you start like kind of seeing some of those a little bit more specific or characterized interaction points, where some of that really nice interaction is going on. And I feel like we can do probably the same thing here. Right, so maybe this is going to be really bulked up through here. Right, and then kind of fade off through here. Month to month and a half for production for character. Which means for the character I do in the games that I work for. Yeah, I mean you know, it could be longer, it could be shorter. It really depends on a lot of different variables. It's really tough to say in a broad statement like how long a character should take. feel like we can actually get some even bigger forms coming through here. So let's try to like really push this form through here. All right, so we get some nice things happening in there. Okay, continue. Oh, save. I haven't saved in a while, man. Let's create a new one. Alright, how's everybody doing? Okay, cool. Some Shane questions. Cool, 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 cool. Trindex, what about a realistic human being with a suit or something? I mean, that's probably around the same amount of time, you know? I think, maybe if it's like more of like a mech, and maybe you may get a little bit longer. It really depends. I think that's why I tend to lean more towards about that amount of time, because it's completely flexible for whatever your company's budget is for that particular character, versus, you know, are there other projects that need to get done more like after that, or what? It's tough to say, but it's not anywhere near like, oh, you need to get this done in like 2 days kind of thing. It takes about that much time to actually get all of that work done. All right, maybe actually we'll start doing a little bit more differences kind of in here. Maybe we'll do some like pinching that comes through here. Maybe this starting to do a little bit of this. This type of thing. Just to add a little bit of variation, you know? Alright. So, pretty much same stuff. Maybe we'll that through there. And again, sometimes I'll kind of get down and dirty with a little bit more specific details, and other times I'll just kind of want to come through and just block out some of the forms, and then later I'll come through and do stuff a little bit more characteristic wise, and separate. Kind of focus on like these type of areas a little bit more, just to kind of like break things up. But sometimes during the blockout time, if you dive too deep into that, you kind of get a little bit lost, or you can get lost. So sometimes I'll catch myself and I'll just kind of pull back and just work on just the general forms, just trying to get some of that, and get back to kind of creating some of those nice happy accidents instead of looking for them. Um, Makes me wonder if you could have used the array mesh for all those metal pieces. Yeah, I definitely could have. I feel like at this particular point, each one of them are a little bit more specific. I actually did consider it. Um, I think if there were more pieces, I may have more heavily considered it. But because each one of them is a little bit more like specifically rotated and kind of placed along a bend curve as well as like a bend curve, um, I felt like just insert mesh would probably be faster. Not so happy accident. I think if Bob Ross did 3D, he would definitely do organic. I don't see him as a hard surface guy. He'd be like happy little folds, right? Let me put a happy little fold through here. Look at that. Believe. Definitely think he would be organic, for sure. Um, yeah, I mean, there's tons of ways you could do it. Um, you can even use, you probably could even use nano mesh for him. Um, but I felt like the quickest way to do it is probably just do an insert brush, and that way you can just drag it right on the surface, and it will at least get you 80% of the way there, and then you can just kind of go in and tweak them a little bit for what the final that you needed. Probably get some bunching through here. A little bit of more bunching through here. Maybe that would diffuse out this way. That would diffuse out. This would be this is another little nice area where there would be some differentiation. Right, because we got this piece being tied down, but this piece also pushing up. So I think we can actually like push this quite a bit. Again, probably this one too. It's a really nice place where we can have a little bit more characterized. Ah, Bob. If you want to change them on the fly, there would be instance, probably super crisp edge. You could do it on one to affect the others. Yeah, you can definitely do that. If I was interested in, yeah, it was crazy, right? So like, what Shane's saying, guys, is if I wanted to change pieces, right? So like, let's say this one was the array mesh of these, right? So these ones all would be instanced to this. The pros and cons would be, the cons would be like, it would be a little bit tough to kind of get this array, maybe. But the nice thing would be that if I wanted to change this particular piece at all, like say I wanted to add some more divots or something like that, or like change the shape of it at all, it would propagate through the rest of them, which is really cool. But I don't think I'm going to need to do that at all, so for me it was just quicker to do the insert mesh. Yeah, do that. Some of that stuff that they're doing, man. Seriously, like, if you guys, go through the same kind of routine through whatever you're working on in ZBrush, and you're interested in finding new, cool, amazing, like ridiculous ways to do stuff, just go watch Paul Gabry or Joseph Drust's streams on ZBrush Live, and it's crazy, man. The stuff that they show, you're just like, wait, what? We're mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. You can find it actually through ZBrush. Was it ZBrush Live? ZBrush Live. Pixelogic.com, ZBrush Live. Or through Pixelogic's YouTube. Also has the replays of all these. Paul Gabriel's specific ones are called Did You Know? I think is what it is. Alright, so now that's feeling a lot more integrated. Right, kind of got some cool stuff going on through there. Okay, we'll kind of integrate this a little bit more in here. Yeah, Pavlovich has some really awesome stuff as well. If you guys don't know Michael Pavlovich, he's got some really awesome videos on kind of more of the I don't know, I wouldn't say technical side, but he's really good at explaining how things work and where to find them and processes and how to think about workflow and that kind of stuff. Really does an awesome job. Highly suggest giving him a follow. Alright, so I'm going to go through and kind of just work out this border just a little bit more. But I want to do it with symmetry on first. Okay. Yeah, definitely tired. Definitely. Well, yeah, what's up, Pancho? How you doing, man? Okay, got it. Yeah. You know Paul G. He's that dude. He's really good at ZBrush. Yeah, you know, Paul G. Yeah, got it. Okay, got it. Alright, so I haven't actually figured out exactly the physics of how these, or how I'm going to approach the finalized version of what these edges are going to be. I know that they just have some kind of wrapped cloth. So let's look at the concept real quick. Alright, so it has like kind of like this tweed cloth that kind of like wraps around. But I haven't decided on if stitches would be here, or if the stitches would be here, right? So like, or both. But what I think it may be is both, because, right, this is what I'm imagining in my head is that this is has two layers. So it has this nice cloth back, so that it doesn't kind of like chafe while you're wearing it. Right, and then it has this heavier leather that is like basically just placed on top of that, and then the back more cloth kind of like folds over, and then is stitched on. So there may be a small stitch here to kind of put attach the leather to the actual cloth that's behind it, and then another stitch line through here so that when this rolls over the leather, it'll stitch to it as well. So I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to handle these seams yet, because it doesn't really explain throughout here, and it's like a little bit different through here as well too, right? So, but it looks like it has very similar function. Alright, Shane. Take it easy, buddy. Thanks for stopping by, man. But at least I know I want the shapes to be this similar. So I'm just going to kind of put some of those shapes in through the bottom. A lot like I did through the rest of this dude. Alright, some of these pieces. Right. Same as this. So I'm just going to go through and kind of explain this edge a little bit better. Putting in the secondary forms. So really it just consists of just thinking about that cloth kind of rolling over and having some of these seam lines, folds or whatever. And how that may work. Thanks, Pancho. The concept is by Adrian Wilkins and Tim Lochner and Andrejs Skuja for Horizon Zero Dawn by Guerrilla Games. I thought it was an awesome concept. Great way to practice working in AAA Studio. So here I am, pretending like I work for Guerrilla. Yeah, give me 1 second. I'll show you where I'm at. I'm just kind of mess with the angle variation here a little bit, just to kind of give some nice breakup so that things don't look too normalized. Okay. Right? Good secondary forms matching with the consistency of everything else. Did you work already in a video games company? Yeah, right now I work for Sony PlayStation. As a character artist. Last year of getting your BA. Awesome, man. Congratulations. Get that portfolio up and running, bro. 99.99% of getting a job is that portfolio. Don't let that thing slip. Meow. Alright, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and explain a little bit more of the deepness. Just through here. Just gonna break this up and give it a little bit more. So the other thing too is I'm looking at shadow values, right? So like I'm looking through here and I look at like how dark some of these values are. Alright, so like here you're gonna see darker because the form pulls out more. Again, you're gonna see more in here because the form pushes in more. So I'm really looking at the shadow values, right? So I want to kind of vary that up a little bit more to kind of give a little bit more realistic, right? So I want to make sure that I kind of like press and pull a little bit more to give some of that depth of variation, right? And the way that I check that is just looking at the grayscale values, right? So like if something's looking a little bit too thin, like right in here, right? That the value of those shadows is, you know, a lot closer to this. So what I want to do is I want to go in and just kind of break that up, give a little bit more depth in here, right? And I want to vary it up as well too. I don't want it to be, I don't want it to be just like this. I want to have some nice variations, subtle differences. Right, so then now when you look at that, right, so you got some nice subtle differences throughout there. And then maybe what I'll do, I don't want to get into it yet, but then that's kind of what I did up here. And then I just kind of went in and pulled out a couple of these actual edges to kind of give some nice highlights as well. Right, so that when you're kind of back here, those forms read much better, right? So you got like some nice highlights and dark spaces inside here, and then you got some nice highlighted edges throughout here. So it really helps kind of define the form a lot quicker and easier to the eye. So it's little things like that that you pay attention to that really make a lot of difference in the overall quality. And it's just about really kind of training your eye on how to look for those things, you know. I lost the file, working on the demo, hoping to get into environments. Nice, man. If you guys like environments, actually, take a look on Twitch for Dynasty? I want to say? Dynasty? I forget his name. But he's really... Hold up. He's a really awesome environment artist who is on Twitch a lot, showing a lot of environment art. I have to get it for you. Next, I'll remember him for the next personal stream. I forget what his name was. Ask you something, can I send you my portfolio? Tell me if I can work in a big video game company. Sure, Pacho. You can either reach out to me here on Twitch as a PM, or just hit me up on Facebook, either one. And then when you do, just write a quick little blurb about what you're looking for and remind me of the conversation. So what I'm gonna do is like this surface is, you know, I'm getting little like highlights and shadows through here, but I want to just pull it out just a little bit more. So what I'm gonna do is use my dam standard, just to kind of pull out a couple pieces here and there, just so that I can see kind of how these edges are reacting a little bit further away. Yeah, I am having a Bob Ross moment. Look at these little beautiful little details through here. Pretty little folds. Happy little folds. Through here. Look at that. Oh, it's so beautiful. I believe. I believe. And again, by kind of like doing this quick little shmee, and plopping in some of these forms, get some really nice happy accidents that you may not get if you're just doing this kind of like straight away. Alright, so those little things are really like making a big difference in showing you what the actual texture is. We don't make mistakes, we make happy accidents. Poncho, send it to my personal one, because I don't have any control over the Pixologic Twitch PM. So send it to the Brendon and Isaiah Bengtson Twitch one, because I won't be able to see it on the Pixologic one. Alright. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today. I'm only on for a couple hours. But I think we did some good stuff. I'm really happy with where he's at. We did some integration through the chest area. We blocked in the rest of this headpiece. Worked on some general proportions. And then yeah, that was it. That was it. Blocked in that bottom. Yeah, he's getting closer. Next up, so I'll probably be back on Pixelogic in a couple of weeks, probably 2 weeks from today. But I will be continuing this guy over on my personal channel if you guys are interested in following along. Going to finish blocking out secondary forms. I'm getting really close to being done with that. I think I just need to add some more details on his back here, so we'll probably do a little bit more of this. We'll start attacking a little bit more of integration of secondary forms through this, and some integration through the bottom of the pants. And we'll probably end up attacking his beard and doing some overall face proportion stuff to get a little bit closer to the concept. We'll do his little hair flicky thing. And then I think we'll probably be ready to start doing some tertiary detail stuff. But I'm going to send him. It's a really good idea. Cool, I got a Pancha. It's a really good idea to have a good community of people, or at least a good small group of people that you can send your work to get really good feedback. So I would highly suggest finding some of those people, like the artists that are doing what you do, you know, within the same family. You know, like if I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna look for feedback on this guy from like an environment artist, right? I would go and talk to my realistic character art friends who have offered to give me feedback, right? So by the time I'm done just blocking out secondary forms, before I get into tertiary, I always go and try to get feedback from probably between 2 to 4 people. I feel like if you get too many, then you start kind of overanalyzing a lot of stuff. I think if you have a really good couple of people that you can send it to, get really good feedback from, that if you have more, that probably will get kind of redundant depending on what you still need to do. But before I go into tertiary detail, I always try to get feedback on overall shape and form, so that it's much easier. I don't have to go back and redo a bunch of tertiary detail stuff. So, yes. How do we know when you're coming on to your personal channel? I would just follow my personal channel and set the notification to on. That's probably the easiest way to do it. Sometimes that's good, Angry. Sometimes that's good. Don't forget to save, everybody, if you're working on something. If you guys are thinking about purchasing ZBrush and want to try it out on the Pixelogic Twitch page, there's a 45-day free trial. If you want to try it out, highly suggest it. Honestly, if you're not ready for the full version of ZBrush, there is ZBrush Core, which is a little bit more of a basic ZBrush for a little bit cheaper. So if you're not ready to dive into the full software, I paid full price for ZBrush probably almost 4 years ago now, and have not regretted a cent that I spent on it. Man, this is like one of the most core programs that that I use in Character Pipeline. It's a must to have in for pretty much every single studio out there. Well, a lot of the studios out there. Their support is really amazing. If you're looking to learn more stuff, definitely check out more streamers that we have coming up. on Pixelogic's YouTube channel, they have all of the replays. If you're looking to learn ZBrush, check out Michael Pavlovich. He's got some really awesome stuff. And check out zclassroom.com. Got really amazing videos from the Pixelogic team there. And I think that's it. All right. Actually, you know what? This weekend coming up, I probably will be streaming a lot over in between Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I have those days off, so I probably will be streaming a lot. I don't know if it's going to be consistent times, but just give my personal channel a follow and set the notifications on, or follow me on Facebook, because I usually post up when I'm going to stream there as well. All right, I think that's the business. Thank you very much, guys, for coming and hanging out. Thanks for the awesome questions. Hope you guys all had fun. Hope you guys learned a thing or two, but most of all, I hope you're inspired to go make your own cool ZBrush stuff. So do it! Do it! Alright, guys. It's been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun. Alright. Take you guys soon. Peace out!